Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today, because we're mapping out a truly incredible journey. If you've ever looked at an animal in need and thought, I want to be the person who steps up and helps, well, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're laying out the ultimate comprehensive roadmap for aspiring animal healthcare professionals right here in India. We're going to break down the exact steps you need to take to turn that passion into a thriving, lifelong career. So let's jump right in.
So, first things first, what exactly does a veterinarian do? Basically, they're highly trained medical professionals, but, their patients just happen to have fur, feathers, or scales. They specialize in diagnosing, treating, and preventing diseases and injuries in animals. And we aren't just talking about your standard house cats and golden retrievers. Vets are trained to work with a huge variety of species, from beloved household pets to massive livestock on farms and even majestic wildlife out in nature reserves. Whether it's in a private practice, a bustling animal hospital, a research lab, or public health, these pros are absolutely vital. To get you where you need to go, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by asking, is this your calling? Then we'll map out your educational path, figure out how to fund your veterinary education, explore what your future career will actually look like, and finally, look at a true trailblazer of the field. Okay, let's dive into this first big question. Is this your calling? It's time to assess your personality fit. Before you commit to years of rigorous study, you really need to ask yourself if you have the natural disposition for this. So mentally tick these off as we go. First, you like to take care of animals. That one's kind of a given, right? But what about the second point? Do you have a genuine interest in how the animal body actually functions? You absolutely need a deep, burning curiosity for biology and science. Now, number 3 might surprise you. You like helping people. It's true. Remember, every single pet has an owner, and livestock belongs to farmers. Being a great vet means communicating complex medical issues to humans with empathy and clarity. And finally, you like to analyze things. Since animals literally cannot tell you where it hurts, you're basically stepping into the shoes of a medical detective, solving complex biological puzzles every single day. All right, moving on to Section 2. Let's map out your educational path, taking you from high school all the way to vet school. Your journey actually starts right in high school. You absolutely need to complete your 10+2 in the science stream, specifically focusing on physics, chemistry, and biology. Once you've locked down that foundation, step 2 is college. Here, you'll earn your bachelor's degree in veterinary science, which you'll often hear called a BSc. Or you can opt for a diploma in veterinary science, animal husbandry, or veterinary pharmacy, really depending on the exact role you're aiming for. And finally, step 3 is completely optional, but highly recommended if you want to specialize, pursuing your master's degree, or MVSc, in the same or a related field. So, you might be wondering, where exactly are you going to study? Well, you've got some exceptional choices in both the public and private sectors all across India. For instance, on the government side, you have historical powerhouses like the Madras Veterinary College in Chennai and the Bombay Veterinary College in Mumbai. Or if you're leaning towards private institutes, there are fantastic options out there like the Apollo College of Veterinary Medicine in Jaipur or Bursa Agricultural University in Ranchi. And honestly, this is just a tiny snapshot. There are incredible agricultural and veterinary universities spread across almost every single state in the country. Now, let's talk about Section 3, funding your veterinary education. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of costs and financial aid. Let's be real for a second, education is an investment. For your foundational bachelor's degree, that BVSc, the fees generally range from 10,000 to 50,000 Indian rupees. Now, if you decide to level up to your master's, you're looking at somewhere between 20,000 and 80,000 rupees. And for those of you aiming for the absolute pinnacle of academia, a PhD in veterinary science can range from 30,000 up to 100,000 rupees. But here's the crucial takeaway. These figures are just estimates. They're going to vary significantly depending on whether you go the government or private institute route, which is exactly why researching your specific dream college is so important. Now, if those numbers look a little daunting, take a deep breath. Please don't worry. There's a massive network of financial support waiting for you. On the scholarship side of things, you should absolutely bookmark the National Scholarship Portal. It's a goldmine. It houses central government, UGC, AICTE, and state schemes literally all in one place. Plus, a ton of institutes offer their own merit-based scholarships. Now, on the loan side, the government set up the Vidya Lakshmi portal specifically for students looking for education loans. On top of that, several states like West Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar offer student credit cards with super low interest rates. And of course, your standard education bank loans are widely available. The point is, you have the options to make this dream affordable.
Okay, let's transition to Section 4, your future veterinary career. We'll look at your day-to-day environment, expected income, and your potential for growth. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer variety of work environments. You can completely forget the idea of being chained to a desk from 9 to 5. You could be working in state-of-the-art animal hospitals, out on massive agricultural farms, behind the scenes at zoos, or even deep in national parks. You're definitely going to split your time between indoors and outdoors, and frequent travel is super common. You should expect to put in a minimum of 45 hours a week. But here's the best part. This field is incredibly ripe for entrepreneurship. You can absolutely start your own private clinic. And I really want to highlight this too. There are wonderful opportunities in this field for differently abled individuals, particularly in research, specialized laboratories, and clinical settings. It's a very dynamic space.
All right, let's talk numbers. Based on current industry data, the expected approximate starting salary for a veterinarian ranges right between 41,000 and 60,000 Indian rupees per month. And obviously that number goes up as you establish your practice or specialize in a specific area. But this gives you a very solid, concrete financial baseline to work toward as you kick off your career.
Let's move to how this all builds over time. Your career certainly won't stagnate. You'll typically start out as an intern, getting that crucial hands-on experience under the supervision of pros. From there, you step up to a junior doctor and then a general veterinarian managing your very own caseload. As you rack up years of experience, you elevate to a senior veterinarian. And then the management track really opens up. You could become the head of the department and eventually reach the absolute top of your institution as a chief medical officer or even the dean of a hospital or college. The upward mobility here is just phenomenally impressive. Finally, we arrive at Section 5. We're going to look at a true trailblazer of the field and find some historical inspiration. I want to introduce you to Dr. Sakubai Ramachandran. This incredible woman is officially recorded as India's first woman veterinarian. She actually earned her BVSc from the Madras Veterinary College, which you might remember we mentioned a few minutes ago. She broke immense barriers in her time, literally paving the way for countless women to enter this field. She went on to assume several highly prestigious posts and ultimately retired as a greatly respected scientist from the Indian Veterinary Research Institute in Bangalore back in 1971. When you hear a story like hers, it really hits you that the path you're considering has been walked by absolute pioneers. So all these educational steps, the funding portals, the growth charts, they're all just tools. The real question is, are you ready to take the very first step toward becoming the next trailblazer in veterinary medicine? If you've got that undeniable passion for animals, a deep curiosity for science, and the drive to help both creatures and their human companions, well, an incredibly fulfilling career is waiting for you. Dive into the research, look up those colleges we talked about, and start mapping out your future today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you leave feeling inspired to make your mark.